So we've just come off the heels of a pay-per-view with
Mm-hmm.
No Mercy, and we're already looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I was really excited after No Mercy. I've It was better than the last pay per view for me, honestly.
Better than the first SmackDown one.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raw has. I thought I was going to knock that over. Raw has really ruled the roost for me since the brand splits, and I don't think that I'm the only one saying that. I'm just more interested in the storylines they have there. A lot of it has to do with the New Day, and a lot of it has to do with wherever Jericho has stuck his head in the last 4 or 5 months has just made it gold.
Yeah, Raw, especially with, like you said, Jericho, and for me, the Cruiserweight stuff. I'm more invested in Raw than I am on SmackDown.
Yeah.
That's the way it is, too. Not to say that SmackDown's a poor product. It's just their first pay-per-view was a misstep for me.
Yeah.
And I'm just not as invested.
I totally agree with that.
But with Raw's upcoming pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell,
Yes.
I think this is the first time there's been 3 Hell in a Cell matches at the pay-per-view.
Yes, so far we have 3, and I don't think that they're going to announce any more because by
That's a
then
lot.
it's like too many. Three's the most.
3 is almost too many because unless they space them out, which I hope they do, if they do them all back
Open
to back
with
to back,
one, have one in the middle, and then have one at the end.
yeah, that'd be the best way to do it. Because they do them back to back to back, we'd be like, well, we're seeing the same match again, and we're
Yeah.
bored of a gimmick match,
Yep.
But this is the first time in history they've announced a women's Hell in a Cell.
Which, you know how I had said before, hey, we could have this as the main event sometime. That'd be cool to have this as a main event.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had the really weird thing happen with No Mercy, where we led the pay-per-view off with the main event, which I didn't understand. Especially if you're not going to have Dolph versus Miz last.
I had heard that they did that in order to compete with football and the debates.
Okay.
Were both that night.
That actually makes sense. I didn't even think of that. We did watch the debate afterwards. But this Hell in a Cell, they announced not only the women's Hell in a Cell, which is going to be the first one ever. I hope they don't drive that into the ground because the women do deserve this big push that the program has gotten. But I don't like to hear every week, this is the first, this is the first, this is the first. Because now it's like we're pandering.
Yeah.
There's a difference between pushing and pandering, and to me. I'm going to get sick of it, and I'm not going to think of it as, oh, this is phenomenal new thing. It's like, now I'm going to feel like I did when you said I had to like Roman Reigns and you tried to force it down my throat.
I don't think it's going to be as bad as that. I do understand where you're coming from, but they do need to make a big deal of it.
Absolutely,
at the same time, But there's a way to go about it, and I think they're doing okay now. I haven't been tired of them saying it yet, but I think you're also sourcing it from different sources because you see it on all these websites we go to.
Yeah.
This is the first time, I think they've only mentioned it on Raw twice.
Michael Cole's voice.
Michael Cole will run everything into the ground.
Yeah.
I've learned to just kind of drone him out, but yeah, Michael Cole is a problem with not calling the matches that need to be called, Like that main event on Raw. Going back to this week's main event on Raw with Jericho versus Seth Rollins. Oh no, Jericho versus Seth Rollins.
Yep.
He didn't call the match at all. He went back and recounted everything else that happened in the night as if we didn't watch the match.
Right.
Watch the rest of the show.
Right. That's the one of the things. I just got done talking about how much I liked Raw better than SmackDown. One of the things on SmackDown that's hands just millions of times better is Mauro Ranallo. He'll call the match, he'll talk about things, and when he tries to be funny, it actually is funny. Like when Dolph Ziggler super kicked Kenny, he said, "Oh my God, he killed Kenny!" I don't know if you caught that, but it was awesome. I laughed my ass off when he did that.
He keeps things relevant where Michael Cole doesn't, but he's got seniority, I think, now at this point.
Yeah, I think so. He's been there for so long. Man, he looked like when I'm watching it back on the network and I see the young Michael Cole, I'm like, why is Tom Green on the screen?
Yeah,
he looks
I know
like
what you mean.
Skinny, geeky, nerdy, like the goatee. It's funny.
Yeah, but in addition to the women's, the first ever women's Hell in the Cell match, Jake, There's also the
Wait, how many have there been?
One.
First ever.
Actually, this one will be the first.
First ever.
First ever.
First ever. Okay.
There's also going to be the Hell in the Cell match for the United States title, and then the Hell in the Cell match for the Universal Championship.
One thing I do want to talk about, speaking of this matchup here, with the women's title and with the U.S. title, that match, we've said before on this show that I hate when they have intergender matches. That was a good match. At least the finish to it was. Yeah. That was a sweet finish. Did you watch? What I'm talking? When I saw it happen.
Don't make any sense normally.
Yeah, when I saw it happen, I was so pleased because it was. It goes against what I said before about pushing the women too hard in a way, but it wasn't. Sasha had Charlotte down in the bank statement, and Roman dives over her to get the spear. Roman gets the pin. He gets the win. Whose music played? Sasha's. It was awesome.
Well, they didn't want the boo from the crowd. That's
right. True. That's true. But I thought it was really cool that if you go back and you watch that and you listen to the pop of the crowd, it was one of those natural things that happened that they were like, wow, this is a spectacle of human beings doing really cool things and things coming together that I want to see. And the fact that the crowd blew up when Roman Reigns got that spear was pretty cool, honestly. I'm excited for these matches. We've got 3 Hell in a Cells. We've got the World Heavyweight title. Did you say that yet?
The Universal Championship.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Universal Heavyweight, whatever.
The Universal Championship, the U.S. Championship, and the Women's title, all contested in Hell in a Cell.
Which, it makes sense because you kind of do have to have that in Hell in a Cell, the Universal title. But I, for some reason, didn't think they were going to do it because I didn't know how well Seth was actually doing in as far as health goes. Do you see any title changes in the Hells in the Cells? Hells in the Cells?
The Hell in the Cells.
Hell in the Cells. Okay.
One Hell, multiple cells.
Okay.
I'm not for sure. We're
gonna save that for picks.
We're gonna save that for picks. There's still 2 weeks,
right,
until the pay-per-view. So,
well, what I keep saying is that Triple H is gonna show up and screw over Seth, but I don't know how that happens inside a Hell in a Cell. Then again, we have seen people like Edge show up as cameramen inside the Hell in a Cell. So, and plus Triple H owns all the place, so he knows Hornswoggle's trapdoors and all that.
Or he could just have Kane come down and rip the side of the cell off or something.
Yes, that's very true. There is a whole world of possibilities with these matches. Hopefully here in 3 weeks, we see some magic happen, especially in that women's match. I hope it's not a big flop.
Yeah, and hopefully they utilize the cell, not just have a match inside the cell. Be kind of a letdown to the fans and I think everyone else. So,
yep.